You can't afford to be the person you were yesterday. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the most powerful yet simple techniques for reading people in 30 seconds or less so you know what they want and how to give it to them just by looking in their eyes. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Psychology Shark video. Today I'm going to teach you 14 psychological tips that will help you improve your life dramatically if applied correctly. For years, psychologists have been studying human behavior, and we now know exactly what makes people tick. These are the same secrets used by top-level CEOs, politicians, lawyers, salespeople, and other professionals who rely on first impressions every day. This is a must-see video because anyone can use these tips right away, no matter where they're at in their lives. When we're meeting someone for the first time, we're bombarded with information, and trying to understand this information without a blueprint is like trying to get from New York to Los Angeles without a GPS to guide you. Just as a GPS would give you shortcuts and help you avoid traffic, these tips will help you navigate through the hidden rules of human behavior. Here's why being able to read anyone instantly is a skill that will help you become successful in every area of your life. About 55% of your communication is nonverbal, 38% is vocal, and only 7% actually comes from words. Let's begin. Make sure to take some notes and pay attention to those clues next time you have a face-to-face conversation. Number 14, overall personal appearance. According to studies, the way we look plays a significant role in the perception of other people have of us. In a world where we live in a perception of a perception, the concept of appearance is even more important, and we're not talking about standards here. Beautiful and ugly are highly subjective, and when it comes to reading someone, they actually throw us off more than anything because of our biases. What we're referring to here is the way someone dresses, grooms, and presents himself says a lot about themselves, even more than you may think. Just by looking at someone, we can quickly label them based on their appearance as someone who's detail-oriented, messy, creative, or even lazy, but basing ourselves only on overall appearances is a poor indicator by itself. It needs to be paired with a few other nonverbal signs. Number 13, shoes. A person's choice of shoes can tell you a lot about their personality. Studies have actually proven that your choice of shoes is linked to your personality type. Whether your footwear of preference is running shoes, high-heeled boots, work boots, sneakers, or loafers, they all say something different about you. Number 12, which words they used. Most of us are not aware of it, but the words we use to describe others in a situation tell much more about ourselves than the actual thing we're describing. Just like some people see the glass half full and some others see the glass half empty by default, the way we express ourselves is deeply anchored in our subconscious. If all someone does is talk about someone else, chances are they're pretty decent themselves. Studies show that when we talk nice of someone else, we're more likely to be a person who has those traits, as opposed to someone who speaks only about themselves. They might be seeking your approval and looking to boost their own self-image. Number 11, the verbal communication. The tone of your voice, your pitch, your pace, the volume, and the melody are the how of communication. Certain people will also put emphasis on certain words. Pay attention to those. The melody in verbal communication is often the one aspect that's underlooked. Most people speak only 1 to 3 tones when they speak. Notice your own tone, and if you notice that you fall into the monotone section, people might think you're uninterested. Just like a piano has multiple notes that it can play, any human with practice can also play multiple notes. 10. Eyebrows. Whether we're talking about eyebrows raised, eyebrows lowering, eyebrows shrug, or flashing our eyebrows, they all can tell a lot about where the conversation is going. For example, someone raising his eyebrows shows engagement, attention, and curiosity. Ultimately, eyebrows can tell how comfortable a person is. If someone raises their eyebrows and it's not related to the conversation, chances are that it's a sign they're uncomfortable. 9. Smile. Your misery is contagious. If there is one thing we can't fake in a conversation, it's a smile. Subconsciously, we'll notice it if a smile is fake. A genuine smile reaches the eyes, as opposed to when it's a fake one, there's no wrinkle on the side of the eyes, which means that this person is also hiding something. People will often smile when they want to hide what they're thinking. 8. Side glance. Just as someone's feet says a lot, people's faces say a lot too. When someone's feet point in your direction, they're usually open to discussion as opposed to when their feet are pointing in another direction. If someone is looking straight at you, they're happy to meet you, but if they immediately glance away to the side, they're looking for an escape. Think of that one time you met someone at a party that was a little bit intoxicated. What was your reaction? You were most likely looking around to find an escape. 7. Head tilt. The head itself and the way it's tilted can reveal a lot. From uncomfortable to confident to being assertive, here's how to analyze someone's head position. If someone's chin is pointing down, not to be confused with someone looking at their cell phone, this person is probably in a low energy state, meaning that the person could be lacking confidence, sad, or even depressed. On the contrary, if someone's head is tilted back and they're lifting their chin, this person is probably confident or hoping to fake it until they make it. Finally, take note of this last one for your next date. If someone's head is tilted on the side, they may be interested in becoming your friend, or maybe even more. Tilting your head sideways is used in courtship, but also when we look at cute things such as a pet video. Make sure to get the context right. Number 6, leaning in or away. Whether someone leans in or leans back also says a lot about how they feel about you. Someone who leans in is a clear indication that they're interested in a sign of respect. It can even show that they want to confide. Someone who leans back, though, is not a good sign. You're losing them. It's a sign that they're tired of this conversation or that they feel uncomfortable. 5. Crossed arms and legs. Have you ever had a conversation where the person seemed completely closed-minded and not interested in your version of the story? How would you describe their nonverbal? How would you describe yours? Crossed arms and crossed legs are usually a bad sign, especially if you're on a first date pitching a new idea or asking for a raise. It might be something you said or a feeling that they have, but there is clearly something going on that made them tune out from whatever you're saying. At this point, if it's not because of the temperature, the person is mentally, emotionally, and physically blocked off. Number 4, copying body language. If you've ever watched The Karate Kid, you know what we're talking about when we say that someone can copy your body language. It's a real thing. When someone mimics your body language, they want to harmonize with you. It's done completely unconsciously, and it's done when someone is at ease with you. Number 3, hand gestures. Let's skip all the human biology explanations and jump right into it. Hand gestures are hardwired in us. Our ancestors needed to know if the person walking to them was carrying a rock or nothing at all, and that has stuck with us as a survival mechanism. When someone sees your hands, they feel at ease and are much more likely to trust you, so get your hands out of your pockets. Another important aspect of hand gestures is the famous handshake. We've all had mixed experiences, from soft and flabby to too hard and crushing. What's important to know is that a good handshake will release a good amount of brain chemical called oxytocin, which will establish that you can be trusted. Practice that handshake of yours and make sure that you don't hold it too long. Have you ever come across someone fidgety or seen someone biting their pen or the arms of the glasses? They are definitely worried about something at a subconscious level. They are trying to feel safe like they were when their mom was breastfeeding them. By the way, a pencil, compulsively eating snacks, and even chewing gum in the mouth can indicate the same thing. Number 2, posture. Someone's posture is by far their biggest weapon to make a good impression quickly, and it's also a great way for them to showcase that they're a confident person. Over and over again, confidence has been shown to be one of the most important factors when it comes to connecting with someone. Studies have shown that in business, a professional's confidence is ranked as more important than their actual qualifications, skills, or reputation. The opposite of a good posture is also very easy to imagine, and we'll call it the cell phone posture. Slouching, looking down, arms tightly by your sides, and the list goes on. Someone who has a bad posture will come off as disengaged, uninterested, and bored. Next time you have a social encounter, try standing upright instead with your shoulders back and your chin slightly up. Number 1, eye contact. It's important to double down on the context here. Is it a romantic setting or a professional one? Is it with a best friend from high school or a conversation with a stranger? The context may affect the type of eye contact that someone makes, but generally speaking, if someone gazes into your eyes, they are signaling that they have good intentions, and it will produce the famous brain chemical oxytocin. Even if everything inside of you is telling you to look away, don't. This is the most important tip to read someone and build trust. Someone who doesn't hold a gaze is rarely trusted. Some of us are really good at reading people, while some of us need someone to come up to us and say in our face exactly how they feel. Reading people isn't easy, but if you can learn a few tips and practice them, it's a fantastic skill to have. Everyone is different and the context has to be taken into consideration. Therefore, it might not always be accurate, but with these tips, you're on your way to become a well-respected and trusted person. That's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch until the end. Tell us, what's the first thing you notice when you first meet someone? Let us know in the comment. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more psychology facts, tips, hacks, and so much more. Check out this playlist of my top 5 videos on self-improvement, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.